An entertaining game at Fratton Park ends all square as Town end the year holding on to an automatic promotion spot by the skin of their teeth. This is the Blue Monday podcast. Hello and welcome to the Blue Monday podcast discussing Ipswich Town up or down since 2015. I'm Richard Woodard and this is our post-match live reaction show following Portsmouth 2, Ipswich Town 2. Joining me to discuss it, welcome back to the pod after seemingly a long exodus, Mikey Penty-Smith and usual suspects in Dave Diamond. Gentlemen, how are you? How was your Christmas and all that kind of stuff? We'll start with you, Mikey. It's been a while. How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you, Rich. I was keeping up with all of the Ipswich games while I was away at the World Cup in Doha. It was a good trip. Probably the only media person that went out to Doha and didn't get to a single game, but there we are.
Oh, mate.
Oh, wow.
Never mind. But you're back and Christmas good as well?
Yeah, Christmas was good. 3 points on Boxing Day. What else can you ask for, hey?
Yeah. And Dave, how was yours?
Yeah, good. Thanks, mate. Yeah, very good. Bit sort of fairly quiet, but yeah, no, it's good. Thank you. And like Mikey said, good 3 points on Boxing Day, which always helps.
Yeah, we might come to that. I mean, the focus tonight is Portsmouth, so we want to hear from you in the chat, and we'll go there straight away. Evening to Charlie. Well, thank the Lord for a point. Max rescued a point, but should never been in that position before. Foul by Burns. Sloppy defending, set piece again. Why Davis was marking Taggart at the back post, I don't know. Evening to Andrew, great to secure a point. Atmosphere sounding pretty intense. Yeah, sounded pretty intense at the final whistle. I don't know if you guys picked up on that. They didn't seem particularly pleased at their lack of ambition to try and convert a point into 3, did they? But as Charlie says, the crowd don't like Cowley. It kind of feels like shades of Dean Smith at Norwich, dare I say, Mikey?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. They were obviously really pleased with Cowley initially, but he's one of those managers, isn't he? We've had one or two of them in our not too distant past where they're good when you're winning games. I think Nicky Forster or the commentator might have mentioned it. It's that you don't mind the bad football if you're winning matches, but when you're not, it's really not enjoyable, is it? I think Portsmouth hadn't scored for 5 games or so until tonight.
Yeah, don't think they'd scored a goal in December, had they?
It just doesn't take much, does it, to start turning?
No.
It was maybe a little bit more intense than the Portman Road atmospheres where we were starting to turn on managers, but very familiar.
It is, yeah, indeed. Low percentage football, as you say. Even into Chris Few, really didn't think we were going to score there. Yeah, Dave, were you getting a little bit worried?
Yeah, I was more frustrated more than anything that you can't be losing games to that because they were poor, really, weren't they? Let's face it, really, really poor. And I think Craig said in our sort of WhatsApp group what they had a sort of dodgy free kick, quality strike, give Pat credit, and sort of one high punt into the box which we didn't defend. Other than that, they've really had nothing, have they? I mean, it's just, so I was getting frustrated more than anything, but yeah, good to see. And Chaplin on the spot, as we both said before, as we 3 of us said before the start, both of our goals potentially offside, but anyway, I think the ref.
Well, they might as well leave that to the Cowleys.
Well, true, yeah. I mean, I think the ref was fairly, how can I put it, average for both sides, really, wasn't he? At least he was consistently.
He was
He was very consistent.
Yeah, indeed.
But good character.
Yeah, exactly right. Daryl, even to you, that was a roller coaster. Not good for my blood pressure.
No.
Take the point, move on, trust the process. All the buzz phrases in there, Daryl. Thank you for that. Graham, the little village in Devon go 4 points clear. Yeah, Plymouth haven't had their little blip. I mentioned it. Yeah, I think we are still second on goals difference, isn't it? So it's really tight, isn't it, guys?
It's identical. We've got an identical. I think I just looked. I believe unless they scored again, it must be. We've got an identical record: plus 22, 114, drew 7, lost 3. I think it is. Identical, plus 22. So I think it must be goals scored. Yeah.
Yeah, Charlie D. Long way to go in the season. We will be fine. Yeah, we're not going to rock up to places like Fratton Park every week, but we'll talk about the ways to win matches as well. It does feel like and how that also links into targets that we should be looking for in the January window as well. That game against Plymouth, as Max says, is becoming very significant, isn't it? Even into Jack, even into Flim Flam, we needed that second goal before they scored. Had we got that, the crowd would have become even more hostile. Maybe we needed a Selena to create that chance. Yeah, I mean, that was a thought, Mikey, that I had. We don't create a huge amount of top quality chances, do we? When teams sit in against us, it took a Morsey effort from range, didn't it, to get us back into it? Your thoughts on whether Ladapo might have gobbled up one of those half chances, or whether it was just a lack of quality in general in the final third?
Yeah, I don't think the pitch helped either, but I think Portsmouth their plan was very much to stop us getting to the byline, wasn't it? I don't think we really saw Burns, Harness, or Chaplin really get in behind them and into those pullback positions. But even when they did, we sort of snatched at chances a little bit. But I felt like we created enough half decent chances to score 2 goals, which is obviously what we did. But it was good to see that when it did open up, I think 2 or 3 times we did take shots from distance.
Yep.
Morsey, we criticise his shooting from distance sometimes. That was a typical Morsey shot. We'll get to that goal later, but he had a little bit of extra power in it. And yeah, Chaplin was really on it tonight. Gave the ball away quite a lot, but some really nice touches, and he was everywhere, wasn't he?
Yeah, it wasn't a great night for Harness or Chaplin, the 10s. It took a while to get into the game.
Harness, I thought, was poor tonight. He was so good on Boxing Day. Best I've seen him play on Boxing Day. Yeah. Unbelievable. But he was. I thought he was poor tonight.
I think Andrew's point here, picking the best pass. I think there's an element of pressure on him wanting to.
Yeah, I think so.
Booed,
tonight.
Wasn't he?
Yeah, no.
Wants to make a statement, but it wasn't really his night. Alex there, frustrating watch. Portsmouth, real anti-football side. Yeah. But yeah, John Uffy, we don't create enough goal-scoring opportunities from our dominance of possession. Conversely, we seem to concede too easily from hardly any chances created. Yeah, worth noting that both teams had one big chance. I suspect Portsmouth's second goal was their big chance. I'm trying to think of what ours might have been. Maybe it was Burgess's goal, but yeah, limited chances, I think, and maybe that's an aspect there. And we'll come back to that, as I said, in terms of January targets and all that kind of stuff. Well, we go interesting.
Would have been good to have seen that Chaplin shot that obviously Nicky Forster.
Yeah, we didn't get a good angle of that, did we?
Didn't see it, but apparently that was really, really close, seemingly.
Elliot's thought here, Mike, you feeling the players are being overcoached? I can't think of an occasion where we took someone on and broke the lines. We ruined it. Thoughts on that? I can see where he's coming from, but our patterns of play are well drilled into this team now, and it's very difficult. There was a point in the second half where Pompey had consistently a back five, a flat back 5-3-2 shape there. As we talked about in the pod before, not many teams are going to break that down. You need a Haaland, don't you, Mikey? You need the League One. Who's the League One Haaland?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure there is a comparable player out there, but to be honest, really. I'm still enjoying seeing a team that is well coached.
Yeah,
I don't know about overcoached. It's good to see a team that can react to going a goal behind, stick to the original plan, get control of the game, slow it down when needed, and speed it up when needed. And I think if it wasn't for conceding that really poor second Portsmouth goal, I think we'd have probably been reflecting on kind of the perfect performance.
Yeah.
We didn't really break the lines. Perhaps that was Harness again.
That's what Elliot's point was. Yeah,
I think centrally we didn't. Centrally we didn't really break the line.
I think maybe we're just a little bit reliant at times on our creative players being able to pick those fantastic passes, quite often first time as well. And when you're playing on pitches like the one that we saw tonight, it's not going to be easy to do, and that's why there was so many loose passes from our attacking players. And
probably not surprisingly, Evans wasn't quite so influential second half, because I know they were raving about him first half, and he just didn't, for about 20 minutes there, he just didn't put a foot wrong, did he? He was just doing what he wanted, really. Absolute class, you're right. Not quite so influential second half, but
no. Yeah. Horse Holler, first time this season we managed to score a meaningful goal in the last 10 minutes of game. Though, Dave, we've also conceded a meaningful goal for the first time in the first 5 or 10 minutes as well.
Yeah. I didn't read it was first 15, wasn't it? First time we've conceded in the first 15. Yeah, I mean, again, that really didn't look like a free kick, did it? I mean, I know we're going to cover it in a minute. It didn't look like a free kick, did it? But we'll get to that.
We will. Evening to Ben. Finally making a live show. Good to have you with us. Unfortunately, I missed the game as I was dealing with a cranky, crying, and tried person. Also dealing with my toddler. There you go.
Yeah.
Raising the Barry Bannon injured again tonight. There you go.
Saw that.
But yeah, a lot of people looking ahead to Plymouth. We've got a game before, we've got Lincoln. We don't need to get, Lincoln and Rotherham before then. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's deal with some of the match action. Let's look at the two teams for a start. Ipswich unchanged. Dave, yours.
Didn't
struggle to justify changes after.
Yeah, you wouldn't. I thought we were so good against Oxford. First 20 minutes apart, we were so good. Probably best I've seen us play this season, I thought, at times. So, yeah, no great surprise. Evans just seemingly just as if he'd never been away, pretty much just back in the side. Harness, like I said, I thought had his best game I've seen him have in an Ipswich shirt to date. So, yeah, no great surprises. There was calls, I think, I saw on our Telegram group and WhatsApp group that maybe Jackson might be the sort of game for Jackson to start, perhaps. But no, I think on the whole, I'd have gone with that.
Mikey, happy with an unchanged team as well?
Happy with it. Surprised was probably the overwhelming feeling because of obviously the game on Boxing Day, and then this game coming quite soon after. But I suppose there is a few days to recover, and there hasn't been maybe as many games as there normally be over the festive period so far. But yeah, it's I'd say it's pretty close to being our best 11, that, isn't it?
Yeah, agreed. Yeah. Let's talk about a couple of changes for Portsmouth. Supposedly, lots of kidology was the word that Nicky forced to use, which I quite enjoyed, with by Cowley in advance about illness in the camp, and I think McKenna even went in for that as well. But I think it's a 3 at the back for Portsmouth, out of necessity, really, due to injuries there. But it's a strong enough team, and we know about Colby Bishop. Seemingly has got his radar. He's like the League One David Nugent, if we're doing striker comparisons, aren't we? But Dave, as much as we had the early possession, we talked about this free kick, and it's a quality strike, isn't it?
It was a harsh one, wasn't it? I mean, you could see, I think Morsey could see the ref was almost waiting to give that. The ball sort of breaks out of our box, and Morsey sort of really goes to help it on. I'm not sure I can't recall who he fouls, but it's one of those ones where the opposing player sort of seemingly gets his foot across there, and Morsey sort of clears the ball, but his momentum sort of follows through. Not and perhaps does catch the guy's sort of trailing foot. I mean, it. Very, very harsh free kick. And you could see Morsey straight away thinking, the ref's going to give this, because he's saying, no, I've cleared the ball's gone forward. But, I mean, fair dues to Pack. I mean, great strike. No fault of our wall. No fault for Walton. That is right in the proverbial top bins, isn't it, that one?
Yeah. Yeah,
great
dinged the post.
Didn't think he had that in his locker, to be fair. I know we never really associated him with anything like that, but that was absolute quality. Yeah, can't argue with the free kick. The award of the free kick, yes. Quality of the free kick, no, and no fault on Walton there. Bloody hell.
No. Mikey, a quick response, albeit maybe 10 minutes or so, I think, until the equaliser, but another set piece.
Yeah, another set piece and another dubious decision from the referee. It was Morsey, wasn't it? Sort of went in for sort of 50-50, and I think sort of the ball sort of went away a little bit from him, and I think Morsey ended up on the deck, and I think maybe after what had happened a few minutes before, maybe played into the referee's mind, so he gave us a free kick. And I think with Evans, they're either brilliant set pieces or they're really poor, aren't they? And this one was definitely the former. It was such a beautiful whipped low flat delivery. He hit the first man so often on Boxing Day against Oxford, but this time he got it over the first man, perfect height, and the Dapos and Burgess have made the run. The Dapo through the middle, Burgess just behind him, and I think the Dapo possibly does get a touch onto it, which probably means that Burgess was offside. But Burgess, fair play to him, no longer wearing the mask, and he keeps his eye on the ball brilliantly and just gets his head over it. make sure he hits the target, and it's 1-1. And yeah,
Tell you
perfect
what,
response.
Just as well Burgess was behind him, because that probably might have been the miss of the season, that one, if Ladapo doesn't connect with that in front of goal. However, as you said, maybe just as well he didn't, but there you go.
Yeah. And then I guess the narrative for the rest of the first half, guys, is dominant possession, but very few clear-cut chances, shots from range. One from Evans that was sweetly struck that nearly caught out Griffiths, and Ladapo's just nearly there. Dave just misses out.
What's going on with that camera angle?
Well, someone's mentioned that in the chat.
What the hell was that?
It must be automated.
It's got to be, hasn't it?
Because
just weird.
If you when you have different cameras, I think the difficulty with it is because we've complained in the past that we don't have the multiple camera angles, but you have to have. It's another person that the club needs to provide to man it, almost as like a director, and make sure that you've got the right shot at the right time. And that Evans chance, it was really surreal, wasn't it? It was like you're watching a replay before it even happened.
Yeah, and I would have. I mean, had the keeper just kept that, it would have been identical. Good for Ladapo again, following up that, it would have been almost identical. Had it squirmed away from the keeper, finished to his goal on Boxing Day. But good strike. That was when Evans was just playing at the top of his game for that. That was that sort of 15-20 minute spell, wasn't it?
Yeah, there was the chance for Ladapo towards the end of the half as well, where is it Burns that cuts it in for him, and he doesn't really get his body in the right position, does he?
Yeah, he could have taken a touch there, couldn't he? He could have killed that and turned.
Yeah, that's what
I like Ladapo, but that was a very Freddie Ladapo moment, wasn't it?
Yeah, I put it to the pitch. I reckon I got a bobble there, Mikey.
Yeah, technically, it only just went over the crossbar.
It did. Loop right. I was thinking the keeper's. It's like one of those. One of these penalties that someone, the keeper makes a save or it hits the bar and rebounds miles out, and then the backspin brings it back into the goal. Is it going to creep under the bar? But no
gust of wind, and he might have been able to get on the end of it himself.
But guys, utterly dominant, and the pattern of play continues for the second half, doesn't it, Mikey? I mean, controlling possession, but maybe a little bit risk averse. Is that fair? We're talking about not playing through the balls down through the lines and stuff.
Yeah, I think it was 68% possession in the first half, and then the early stages of the second half, it felt more like 78, 80%, and it was really good stuff because you could see that we were controlling the game and we were waiting for things to open up. We weren't just chucking crosses into the box and hoping for the best, but it can be a little bit frustrating when it doesn't open up. But I think maybe the game plan in the second half was to keep applying the pressure onto Portsmouth, and then eventually they'll make a mistake or they'll do something rash and give us another set piece or whatever, because they weren't confident and the fans were on their backs for as long as we had the possession. So I was actually more than happy with us sort of executing this game plan. But then, almost from nothing, Portsmouth have a little spell, and then
that was a shock.
And it was a really poor goal, wasn't it? It was
talk us through it, Mikey. Yeah.
So it was just a real looping ball to the back post, wasn't it? It was probably a slight miss hit of a cross from the left wing back, and it loops up to the back post. And unfortunately for us, it's Raggett that's at the back post. And although Leif Davis is a lot taller than people often think, I think he's 5'11", 6 foot, isn't he, Rich? And he is good at defending his back post generally, but Raggett's just towered above him, got the header there. And Bishop, who'd been really
anonymous,
isolated,
barely involved, looked frustrated as hell, but he just gets across his man and follows it up nicely. And then you're thinking, Christ, we've got to come back again. And it is in those moments you think maybe it isn't our day, but yeah, we'll get on.
And good teams, guys, hang in there, don't they, when they're dominating teams, and don't panic. And we certainly did that, but. Harness.
We showed a good response. I thought we showed a really good response. Yeah,
we did. Again, there's no panic
at
there.
First.
Harness sort of subbed off for Aluko. I didn't think. Well, it wasn't Harness's best day, was it? Let's not pretend that.
No.
Aluko, some good touches, but I'm not sure necessarily
not his best game off the bat.
No, he wasn't so influential at all. No, he wasn't.
And I was thinking that with the subs in general, because then you've got Jackson and Edwards come on for Ladapo and Burns, and I'm not sure really. I think Edwards had a couple of goes past his past the fullback, but didn't really create a huge amount. So, rare instance there with those triple subs and double changes and so on don't really work out. But Dave, as it's looking like, I'll be honest, part of me was thinking it'd be really good to get one of these ones where we score in the last few minutes and turn the game on its head.
Yeah,
we didn't necessarily get the third, but
as we say, take a point, get out of there with a point. Yeah, because at one time I was looking at the table and you're third, and you think, oh, how? How is this? How really? But yeah, fair play. Morsey picks it up, I don't know, 30 yards out, and he's allowed to sort of advance. And again, it's funny striker with the ball sometimes. Moores I'm never sure he strikes him cleanly, really. But I think, as we said before the start, I think he gets enough on it, and it's not great goalkeeping, is he? He should hold that, really. I mean, it's not a thunder bastard by any stretch, and really good great from Chaplin following up again. Well, we don't have the I suppose fortunate we don't have the side on view there, but looked close, but Chaplin on the spot, good finish. And I like the attitude, picks a ball up, traces back to the halfway line, plonks the ball down, let's get the third. But
learn our chart mistakes.
No, exactly. Look, just at the end of the day, good to disappointing. I think, as someone said on the Telegram group, I think overall you'd say, that's 2 points drop, but good to get good character and good come back twice from being a goal down, and at the end of the day, good to get out there with a point and also hang on to second place.
Indeed. Here's some stats for you guys. For those of you who like XG, it suggests that we had the chances in theory to win that one, but double the shots. A lot of shots from outside the box as well. 73% possession it was in the second half as well, guys. But just frustrating that we just didn't create those chances, But you take a point as well, Mikey.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think it was one of those days where things went against us a little bit. Difficult place to go. And Portsmouth have got some good players. I know they're not playing well, but they've got some decent players. One of the more difficult games of the season. I don't care when you play them. Really, really happy with the way that we bounced back and found a way.
Yeah, I agree with that. Let's go back to the chat, shall we? There you go. From Sean. Good to see you, Michael. From me and Caveman.
Cheers for the invite.
The Og Monster. There you go. James, anyone else notice that Burns looked baffled when he's got to take someone off, look more confident at those sort of dribbles last year? I mean, he's a known figure now, isn't he, Burns? He's going to get doubled up on, and I think he's been one of the people that's been under the weather as well. So maybe not his best day either. But
I think so.
I'm just trying to get the results up for later. So
the way he links up with Donacien though is just such a weapon for us, isn't it? Even when he isn't taking players on and he's scintillating best, he does look after the ball pretty well generally in the final third of the pitch, which is important for us.
Yeah, it's a good understanding, those two.
I've alluded to questions about the January transfer window, and Barles has kind of asked the question for me. We need a striker, he says. Ladapo was poor. I think it's really easy to be negative on Ladapo. I didn't think he was poor, but
he's playing up against a back three as well.
Yeah, he was. Jackson. Yeah. We've kind of talked about none of the subs really made an impact either. But he says if we want automatic, we need a striker. Do you guys agree with that one? We've been debating.
Yeah, I think
pretty much the whole season.
I think we probably do need a striker because it is when it isn't quite working for Ladapo. I'm not sure bringing Jackson off the bench as a centre forward is a particularly good option for us most of the time, because Jackson's pretty one-dimensional and he's good at running the channels, and I quite like him from the start. Sometimes away from home, he's had some good games for us this season. And I think he'll still get game time, even if we do bring in another striker, because of the option that he brings. But yeah, if there is a striker that's a similar standard to Ladapo and a similar style of player, then yeah, let's go for it. But I think we've done fairly well with what we've got so far as well.
I think you're right. I think of all the injuries, looking at it, John Jules might be the most crucial, really. He was really starting to show, I thought, and that's just that was a bad one, a bad break for him and us at the time he got injured, because there's no sign of him being back anytime soon, is it? It's got a bad one.
Yeah.
But it comes back to the old debate, who you're going to get in that's going to, hit the ground running, so to speak.
Yep.
Unless you get a Clark Harris or, look, I can't see it, but someone like that, some of that ilk. I saw Jack Marriott's been given a free or can go, can't he? Been told he can go.
Peterborough letting some players go, including Marriott.
Is he the type, though? Is he the type?
Not sure. He always scores goals, doesn't he? But
he does. He has
one
done.
player who's returned from injury, though, Dave Evans, looked immense in the middle of the park. He's got to stay fit, though, as James says, and he's a big player for us. And we need to
he's such an important player. And look, he's Cameron Humphreys, the brilliant really in there. But you realised, I thought against Oxford, that just physicality that Evans gives you as well, and probably tonight at times as well. Not only his range of passing and all the other bits and pieces that he does, but his physicality and he's overturned, his ball, overturning the ball. I think before he got injured, I believe he was like number 1 in the division for that. I believe. He's just a great player at that level.
It's just such a good midfield partnership as well, because we're going to dominate possession with those two in the middle, but they can also bully pretty much any midfield partnership in the division, can't they? They can stand up to any sort of physical test, but then they pass the football test as well. They're both very good in possession of the ball.
Mate, it's a long time since I've seen a midfielder for us at any level, but just play with such a consistency as Sam Morsey. He's like 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 every single week. He's unbelievable.
Yeah.
He's just a cut above. You watch him against Oxford, he never loses the ball. He always makes the right decision. Always makes the right decision as well. So look.
If he could shoot, Dave, he wouldn't be playing for us.
Well, mate, look, there you go. But he's just on a completely different level. He really is.
Yeah.
And Evans coming back just complements him so well.
Agreed. Yeah. This one for you, Mikey. It's the speeding up the Town have a problem with sometimes. Laboured passing sometimes. A lack of intensity. Can't fault K-Mac. Trust his tactics. Just frustrated. Your thoughts of us kind of ebbing and flowing, maybe?
It's fair. We're really good at speeding things up on the counter-attack, aren't we? But I think teams like Portsmouth are a little bit wise to that, and they drop deeper and deeper. So it's maybe a fair comment that we do need to find another way to speed things up a little bit. But I think tonight, when we did speed things up and we played things one touch, the final ball just wasn't quite right. And I think that was maybe the problem. Like Chaplin's little balls around the corner and even Aluko when he came on, and then Edwards as well with that quick break near the end, and Edwards just sort of miscontrols the ball back to Aluko. We were in a really good position there. So I think we do speed it up at the right times, in my opinion, but it's just you're quite reliant on there being really good touches and passes in the final third, which isn't always going to come, especially on bad pitches.
And you might have a point about the pitch. I think, looking at it, when you did see a sort of close up of it on that little wide angle there, it did look like it was cutting up.
We dealt with it better than the opposition did. They were slipping all over the place in the first half, weren't they?
Yeah.
Sean's got an insight here, Mikey. You want to help us out here, or someone in the? They kept changing it because the main one kept it. It was certainly in the first half that camera one looked massively out of focus. I kept trying to adjust on my settings on iFollow because it was really weird. Camera one was out of focus, and then the other cameras were really like crystal clear. I don't know whether they're like a slightly newer camera, but yeah, Sean knows his cameras. If anyone needs a wedding video, Sean Young's your man. There you go, Sean. Give us a website address. Stick it in the chat. I mean, this is the we've been quite positive with the way that we approach the game, but Dave, this point here, dominant but without threatening. Pompey happy to let us knock it around. I mean, there was definitely a sense around the goal, but even in the first half where we had long spells of possession, and then Portsmouth were a lot more economical with the ball, weren't they? And got the ball right up the pitch and created half chances and openings. Yeah, is there something that we can learn from that?
I think so. It's easy to, they'll let you play in front of them. As I said, we didn't really break the lines much. Certainly not, like I said before, not from a central position tonight. Teams are happy to sit and let you do that. And you're right. Certainly first half, they were knocking it long and they were getting a lot of not even maybe second balls, but they always seemed a threat first half. At times they're knocking it long. They always seemed to be landing perhaps on the first ball as well, which was odd at times. But yeah, I just think they were at the end. I suppose they sat behind the ball, and their mentality at the end surprised me, because almost 2-2 they were taking it, weren't they? And perhaps that was the issue at the end, where the keeper had the ball last minute and he just wasn't looking to play it forward at all. Really, was it? He's almost reluctantly
clearing the mud off his boots. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
so
it's so frustrating when you're a home fan and that.
It is.
And you're seeing that, isn't it? No matter where you are in the league, even if they are in the playoffs.
You want to go for it.
Yeah.
Chris makes a really valid point here. 3 Town players followed him for the rebound when we equalised. No Pompey defenders made a move. And the same for the first goal as well, guys. It's something that we've got much better, hasn't it? Following up, and if we're going to struggle to break teams down and try these shots from range, then we need to be ready to gobble up these chances, don't we, Dave? They're I think
you can see we probably worked on that a lot, can't you?
And obviously it's a goal against Oxford for Ladapo that follows that same pattern as well. So Flim Flam agrees, definitely something like we've been improving on. Andrew Pearson, how much of an impact would Bannon's injury have on Sheffield Wednesday? I guess we don't know the extent of it yet, Mikey, but
we don't know the. So I mean, it's. I think we just need to focus on ourselves a little bit, don't we? And they might have been looking at us when we got our injuries and thinking, that maybe Ipswich are going to start dropping points. Points now, and it didn't really happen, did it? That he is going to be a massive loss for them, but you never know. They might stumble into something else that works for them.
I don't think there's any single player in the division as influential as him on a team. Probably. Maybe Morsey for us might be the second one. Yeah. Might well be closely followed by Morsey, but not him. He will. But look, he will. Look, who knows? January window coming up, but if he is out for any sort, because it was interesting. He was back at the weekend, wasn't he? I think he missed one game, didn't he? I believe. Then he was back. I think that was right. If he is out for any sort of spell, 2 or 3 games, they'll certainly miss him, because he's just so important to them.
Sorry, Rich, just you might, with your work on the pre-match show, you might be able to help me on this one with Sam Morsey. He hasn't been booked the last couple of games. If he gets booked in the next game, does he miss the Plymouth game or?
Don't know. I'm not sure about that one. So last booking was against Peterborough.
Okay, so it's 3 games then.
Was it 3
that he's managed to go without a booking?
I'm just trying to. When was his suspension? I'm trying to remember what was the.
When's the cut off?
I don't know. Anyone in the chat can help us there.
Joe Fairs will know.
Let us know that. I haven't. We generally research the opposition, Mikey, rather than.
That's fair enough. I know that you've. I know it's something you've discussed. Sorry to chuck that one out.
If that is the case, despite what I've said about Morsey, I'd almost rest him.
Chris definitely needing a striker. Jackson good at pressing, but his goal threat minimal. Paul, fair to say that these types of games will be where our season is defined? ? Our ability to break down these sides that sit deep, largely ineffective tonight for long parts. Agree with that statement, guys? Mikey, Dave, anyone got any strong opinions?
The flip side of it is that maybe our season will be defined by the fact that we're so hard to beat, and that when the chips are down, we find a way to grab a goal. Like we've managed to get 2 goals out of fairly. What was our XG? We've outscored our XG tonight.
It was 1.67, I think.
And they're the sort of things you have to do away from home against tough teams.
1.57.
I think it's more. I think it's a frustrating one because Portsmouth were poor. I think that, and they've been in such a bad run of form. I think that's maybe why people are a little bit frustrated. But I don't think we played badly at all tonight. And I think the way that we can recover from setbacks really stands us in good stead for the rest of the season, because there are going to be setbacks. And that includes losing matches as well. We seem to be able to bounce back. We bounced back really well from the Wickham game. We'd have definitely taken 4 points. I think most people would have taken 4 points from Oxford, and followed by Portsmouth in quick succession. I think
that was a game tonight where you go ahead, you get ahead in that game, and then you play your possession football, and then the crowd really turns. That would have, if we'd have got ahead tonight, I think we'd probably, silly hypothetical, I know, but gone on to win that comfortably. But you'd really see the crowd turn.
Yep, I agree with that. Flim Flam, I hope the broadcast is still going. I don't know I'm not sure what that's about, but hopefully
I must have been mid flow, Rich.
maybe we've dropped out. So apologies if there's any technical issues there.
All right. Okay.
I'm not aware of anything, but anyway, let's move on. What else have we got? Good day to Michael. If ever we need another striker to rotate with Freddie, it's this January window. Yeah, I think a lot of people saying that. Eric, 2 or 3 in the door? Question mark, Dave. It seems to be the
possibly.
well.
I mean, we haven't heard anything in the last few days about Massimo Luongo, who's reportedly on. Well, I think not reportedly, is on trial. With us. I think we all agree that he would be a more than useful addition to the squad. So yeah, with that, a striker and maybe another central defender. I don't know, but yeah, watch this space. I think, isn't it, over the next few days?
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting few weeks. And Sheffield Wednesday are a team that can do that as well. I think probably it'd be interesting to see how Plymouth, we've long speculated about Whittaker and
they're lone players.
So it's going to be interesting, isn't it? Michael, I thought Pompey played Town's wide men well tonight. No space to run into. Is that a case of just getting bodies back, Mikey, rather than
I think they had fullbacks playing as wing backs, didn't they? And I think that they changed their formation tonight to try and stop Burns, and then Harness as well, getting in behind, and Leif Davis to a degree as well. That definitely nullified us and our ability to play quick ball. I suppose they obviously decided that we don't score many goals from distance, so if they just keep sitting deeper and deeper and deeper, really concentrate on those wide players, and they'll probably be all right. And it nearly worked for them, didn't it?
I quite like their right fullback, that Swanson. I've always quite liked him. I thought he was decent.
Yeah.
Sorry, whenever I hear the name Swanson, I think Dumb and Dumber. Samsonite. Anyway, moving on. A lot of chat about strikers. This seems to be a hot topic. Would another striker in the door give the current ones a boost? And then Max, don't think it's the striker's faults on nights like tonight. Not enough creativity behind Freddie. The 2 10s didn't really function tonight, did they, guys? Dave, there wasn't a huge amount of stuff.
Certainly not as they did against Oxford. So both absolutely outstanding against Oxford, weren't they? So it was a big drop off from there, but not good. They were at such a level on Boxing Day that you perhaps expectedly. But look, Portsmouth set up and were pretty well organised, I thought. So I have to give some sort of fair dues to them, really.
Yes, well, it's easy to do that, isn't it? It's easy to nullify rather than to try.
Of course it is. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Even to Craig, very impressed with Mikey's Dohartan. Point tonight puts more pressure on Monday, especially given the home matches v Plymouth and Wednesday have over the weekend. Someone needs to enlighten us on fixtures for these 2 teams. Let me see if I can quickly do that. Whilst I'm doing that, guys, let's have a quick look at the results from tonight's games, because I'm worried about Barnsley, guys. I don't know about you.
What was the final score there?
2-1. Goal for Norwood.
Norwood. I saw he opened the score, and I saw that.
But yeah, some barnstorming game at Bristol Rovers.
Whoa, West Country. Whoa,
bosh. What have we got?
Showing some form.
Yeah, a little bit of a resurgence. So what have we got on? Oh, so there's games on New Year's Day. I don't know why we're playing on the 2nd.
Yeah, we got moved from New Year's Day. I'm not really sure
Sheffield Wednesday, Cambridge is on the 2nd. Barnsley, Bolton is also on the 2nd. And then Plymouth have got MK, although MK resurgent, albeit trying to find their result tonight. There you go. They lost to Peterborough. There you go. That's curse of the coast.
That's their resurgence over and done with.
Yeah. So yeah, it's good. Yeah. So Craig's point there, the hashtag winnable games.
You would fancy those 2 to win those home games. Yeah.
Yeah.
We owe Lincoln one, don't we? Big time.
Yeah, Barnsley have got games in hand, haven't they?
I think if they win their 2 games in hand, they're
3 points off us, I think. Well, I guess it's not now because they won
sure.
We dropped points.
Bolton won't be easy on New Year's Day, will it?
It won't, hopefully. It's a long way to go, guys. Long old way to go. Let's not get excited.
And we're still just about over that 2 points a game.
Yeah. Portsmouth targeted the space between Burgess and Davis tonight, turning both players on the touchline. Wolfie was superb. I didn't notice that, guys. Anyone observe that?
I thought Wolfenden was good again.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Didn't particularly notice the.
Yeah,
I think maybe Davis wasn't quite at the same level as Boxing Day, going in both directions, was he, defensively or attacking wise? But
no.
Yeah, did they target it? No, yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, not so sure.
Not sure.
Flimflam, should Edwards have moved over to the left? Aluka kept drifting out to the right. Yeah, it did seem a little bit congested there. Maybe that was a strategy, though, a bit of an overload, perhaps. I don't know, but
yeah, probably. And if you have a Luco near Edwards, then Edwards is going to get the ball, isn't he? Because Aluko gets on the ball so much in those attacking areas. But yeah, he just wasn't quite at it tonight, was he?
He wasn't.
I love Aluko coming off the bench, but his touch wasn't quite there, and it just didn't quite happen for him.
It was almost perfect for him tonight, set up, wasn't it? Okay, here comes a Luco, we'll be all right. And even first couple of touches, he's not quite on it, not quite.
We conceded. It was 1-1 when he came on, wasn't it?
Yeah, right. Yeah,
and we conceded quite soon after.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find out who the Notts County Haaland is. He scored 24. Ooh. Would he be worth it?
Who's that?
Need to give us some
Notts County is National League, though, isn't it?
Bit of a jump there, isn't it?
It is. Yeah.
Graham's got the insight on Plymouth. Are you a Plymouth fan, Graham? Apologies if I'm besmirching you there, but suggests that Plymouth loans players are staying. Parent clubs happy with their progress.
I guess you would be, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would,
because they're doing so well, and it's does it ever really pay off taking a loanee from that's doing well at a lower division, bringing them back up and not giving them as much game time? I think those players will be desperate to complete the job at Plymouth because they've had a fantastic season so far.
Incredible season. Yeah.
I think Graham is a Plymouth fan. Good to have you with us, Graham. Thank you for your insight.
Well, nice one, mate. Yeah, super.
You won't get any bad blood here.
No, I have.
And
fair dues to
Chris getting worried about Barnsley as well. Eric, Plymouth definitely have that consistency about them. Coventry had a few years back in the COVID curtailed season. Jonathan rightly mentions Lincoln have one less day to recover, and I keep seeing going for Shankland at Hearts. It seems a little bit of a niche pick. Shank one.
Don't like that. Don't like that word.
Don't like that. Don't like that name.
My driver off the tee. So let's talk about Lincoln, guys, on the second then. I'm trying to find what was their result from tonight. Can anyone remember?
I think somebody just said they're playing tomorrow night.
Playing tomorrow, aren't they?
Tomorrow night. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
So that is a quick turnaround, isn't it?
Yeah, it's weird how they're kind of
Friday, Monday.
Friday, Monday,
yeah.
But not in the best of form. 16th in the league as it stands. Should be. I mean, we shouldn't be fearing anyway.
Drawn home
games,
haven't they?
But they have picked up good results against the teams higher up in the division, haven't they?
They had one of games where they beat us at home and then beat Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah, they beat us. They drew against Plymouth perhaps as well, and
they had that little run, didn't they? That's right.
They seem to know how to play these games, and it's not a bit of a cliche again, but not an easy place to go as we found out in the past.
Yeah,
did we not win there last year?
Macaulay might have done
first win of the season. Yeah.
Oh yes, it was. Yeah, I remember. Matt Penny Cross, wasn't it? Or maybe it wasn't Matt Penny. Maybe it was a fullback we had on loan for a bit that got injured.
Hayden Coulson.
Hayden Coulson could have been him. And then a bullet header from Macaulay Bomb, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was good header.
But as Richard says, no point worrying about anyone. We play as well as we have. First half, be just fine. Just need to be more clinical.
I think after the Boxing Day, someone said in the Telegram group that if Evans and Morsey just can play 90% of the games in central mid, will go up.
Yeah, indeed.
I think it's probably got a point.
In January as well.
Yeah.
Given we're not 100% sure whether we'll have another pod before Lincoln, so this might be the last pod of 2022. So thank you everyone for your support through the last 12 months. We've been
a good year, hasn't it? It's been pound for pound. It might have been our best year
for years
following Ipswich since the Blue Monday podcast started.
Yeah, no, it would
ever
so comfortably. Yeah, easily. I would suggest easily.
The bar is low, Mikey. The bar.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, it's not really much of a statement, is it? But
no, myself and Ben always kick ourselves that we didn't do it a season earlier, which had been the 14-15 season. Can you imagine?
But then you'd have
but can you imagine that? Yeah, that podcast after the Norwich
how would we have coped? It was only me and Ben. That would have been rubbish, wouldn't it? It wouldn't have been any good at all. No involvement of anyone else. Just me. Yeah. God.
So I'll put this out to everyone in the chat as well. Ipswich Town New Year's resolutions, that you can do that from the perspective of Kieran McKenna or one of the players or just in general. But I haven't really set Mikey and Dave up for this question, so apologies in advance, guys. But what would your New Year's resolution be for, apart from to win every game in the second half of the season? But yeah, things that might changes to make or tweaks or different ways of going about things that might.
I just don't think there's a whole lot to tweak, really, is there? It's just new. I mean, it's going to be the signings, isn't it? We're led to believe there's going to be a couple coming in at least. So that's going to be the crucial thing, I think, and just making the right decisions and hopefully the right signings.
Yeah.
And I'll go from the fans' perspective. I think we've been crying out for a season like this, haven't we? Where we've got a sniff of an opportunity at going to games in the sunshine near the end of the season actually means something. Let's enjoy it. Let's like at the home games, and let's not be nervous in these tight games. Let's really get behind them and just bloody enjoy it and get behind the team.
It's Ipswich though, Mike. It's so hard. It's so hard to let that nerves go, man.
Yeah. Sometimes it can be so good at Portman Road though, and then other times
it can. Yeah.
So let's just be the best version of ourselves.
Oh, Mikey, I love this.
Oh my word,
Mikey!
I was live, love, laugh.
Positively Churchillian.
Something I was
never.
Something
never
about
surrender.
Prosecco o'clock. Yeah,
yeah, ready, steady, Prosecco.
Yeah, I was thinking very similar, Mikey. As we talked about in this pod before, my mindset is all quite negative. It's kind of. It's always
it's our default position, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think it manifests certain times in the ground as well. And I think just we need to realize that mindset does, the Suffolk sigh, I would call it. That we haven't had too many occasions where that's come out, but I think generally we are a little bit of a glass half empty, and for good reason, right? That. We've got patterns of results.
But the other side of that, Rich, is we've seen such crap for years, and now we're seeing something really good. Even when we're not great, like tonight, we played some fantastic football. We saw some really nice moves tonight. We've got it really good at the moment, and it's not going to last forever. So
I honestly think that's what it is. I think we are just a pessimistic bunch because of what
I think
the dross we've had to wade through and witness over the past X amount of seasons. Because it has been, let's face it.
Who's the yellow trainers guy? Is it Rob something? Craig?
He's the guy. He's the man.
We need to get him on the podcast, don't we? I think we just need a collective reconditioning of our brains.
A reset.
I think that's what we need, isn't it?
Yeah.
So let's make 2023 the year where we aspire, we have ambition and all that kind of cool stuff. That's because Mikey's right.
Blue Monday self-help. Blue Monday
self-help.
There
you go. I feel like we need group therapy, don't we? So
absolutely.
Get your thoughts in the chat if you've got any New Year's resolutions, maybe a little bit more football related than psychological. But I feel like we've scratched a really interesting itch there, Mikey. So thank you for that. I appreciate that.
A good idea is a good idea.
If we're all facing in the same direction, all we need to do is keep on walking. Are you reading these? No. Paul, happy to have you with us, Paul. Frustrating game. Need to mix it up with some long-range attempts instead of trying to pick out the perfect pass. Yeah, I think we generally agree with that. But the goal came from that, didn't it? And we did do that. Even it's a gunner. You have to go up this season from an Icelandic Palace fan. Well, love that. And any support, welcome, Gunner. So thank you for getting involved.
Are you going to read the name, Rich? Or
I think you should. Have a give it a go.
Is that Gunner from Ingebergson? Is it? Help us out. I think I did all right with the surname. I'm not going to try.
This should mean that his dad is called Ingeberg.
Right there.
Okay.
Yeah. There you go. Well, this is not ending the way I thought this pod might. But anyway, there we go. Macaulay Longstaff is the guy at Notts County.
What a name!
That's a good player, isn't it? Chris Rand, best calendar year for how long? Better do some stats coming soon on the Blue
Oh,
Monday
fantastic,
Telegram group.
Chris.
We'll
Thank
get
you.
involved in
Someone
the
will
Blue
knock
Monday
that out
Telegram
tonight.
group.
That'll be about half an hour. I'll give that.
Yeah. Do get involved in that. Blue Monday ITFC.co.uk for the website for the joining link there. Always good chat going on there. Always interesting debates and stats, all that kind of fun stuff. And A is chipped in with only 7 league defeats in 22. There you go.
Wow.
Chris is running towards adversity. There we go. We need to get this printed in big letters behind Mikey's head. There we go. Max, news resolution, maintain the rage. There you go. Wow. Maintain the rage.
What have we done here? What have we done?
Yeah, there you go. What are we? I'm trying to read these comments as we go. Thank you, Michael, for the great last 12 months. NY news resolution is that I don't get worried when one plays tight passes. I think we need to chill out on that. I think
I love it.
I love that they do that.
He drills those passes into central mid, but fortunately he's passing it to Morsey, always just kills it dead and turns and away we go. But yeah, I think I'm seeing previous seasons where I'm not sure goalkeepers playing it out to Andre Dezelle or something. His first touch is terrible and they're in on goal. But yeah, that's what I'm imagining.
Yeah. David's, I assume this is a news resolution. Leif Davis, we're good for the fullbacks to score generally. I think Danassian's talked about it as well.
I think he fancied that free kick tonight that Chaplin took. Well, Chaplin struck it well. It hit the lad on the end of the wall. I think Davis really fancied a go at that one, didn't he? But yeah, he's just behind Chaplin in the pecking order.
I think it'll be good for a couple of goals before the season ends. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he'll score straight from a corner, won't he?
That's probably
Michael,
right.
better go already late for work. Pool party for New Year's Eve. There you go. Wow.
Stop it in Australia. You know,
48 hours ahead.
Yeah.
The last 10 years has naturally made us pessimistic. Quite
I think you're
with
right,
that.
Richard. I think
Charlie
you're right,
D,
mate.
positive mindset, everything. Mikey's 100% correct. Enjoy this while it's happening.
Yeah, enjoy the journey, not just the destination.
Peace be the journey. What film's that from? Cool Runnings. There you go.
Cool Runnings.
David's with us. David's with a super chat as well. Love that, David. Thank you so much. And evening. David. Great to have you with us. And Happy New Year, says Eric. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, everyone, if you stuck with us. We will stick around for a little bit longer if anyone's got any thoughts that haven't been shared yet. Any New Year's resolutions, any predictions for Lincoln? Go on, Dave.
Just getting back to on that note, I sometimes catch up, I know, once in a blue moon with 3 or 4 school friends. Obviously, going to the matches pretty much together throughout the Robson era. And the times we look at each other and, you know, especially in recent scenes, we look at each other and say, my God, we had it good, didn't we? And we so took it for granted, you know, right through the, I don't know, mid-70s onwards to the, obviously, 80, 81 and beyond, just a bit beyond. And we look at each other and we think, my God, we just took all that for granted, didn't we? And look back on it and think, yeah, you know, every season. But yeah, hopefully those times are just around the corner again.
Tick.
Yeah, maybe not quite those times, but
well, no, not those times,
nice.
but a similar level of enjoyment, let's say. Yeah. On a different, slightly different scale.
Yeah. So, yeah, positive trajectory. That's what we want. Positivity. Yeah. So we will be back at some point next week to talk about Lincoln. We might do another post-match reaction similar to these. I don't know. We'll sort ourselves out. It's a little bit slapdash at the moment, but thank you to Mikey and Dave for making themselves available post-match. Appreciate you guys for that. Blue Monday, ITFC.co.uk for all the details. Telegram group, merch store, all the links to the shows on our socials and all that kind of stuff. So head over there if you want to find out what's going on. And if you've made it this far, as I say, do give us a thumbs up. I've spotted some thumbs up on Facebook. Ben, Mark, Biles, and Gary, thank you for the thumbs up on Facebook. If you're on YouTube, do give us a thumbs up as well there. We appreciate that. And a subscribe if you haven't already. And I think that's all the big bits of business, guys. Let's do some last bits of chat before we say goodbye. AD a little bit worried about Walton. Is it just me? Walton seems a bit indecisive about his passing up the pitch at the moment. Thoughts on that, guys?
I don't think so. I just think
he's more drilled to the short passing, isn't he? So when he has to go long,
and when he has long, it's all about picking the right pass. And he's, let's face it, over the since he's been last season, certainly this season, his delivery is brilliant, and he's obviously worked on that, hasn't he? Absolute ping of a left foot, hasn't he?
I love that we are. That's the level of critique that we've got at the moment. You know, there's not a huge amount wrong with us. So
no.
Paul a little bit critical of his positioning for the first goal.
Yeah, I saw something on Twitter about that. I think from Ollie Marr, and yeah, maybe his positioning wasn't quite right. He should have tapped his ball, but he's still not going to save
that. He's not going to save that. No way.
His arms are long, but they're not that long.
That's a hell of a strike. He's not going to save that. He might have a perhaps slight point, perhaps his weight or whatever, but you ain't going to save that.
Off the post, it just clips the post, doesn't it?
It's a great goal.
Yeah, quality finish, that one.
Yeah.
0.05 XG, by the way, for that one. Out of that, if you want the rainbow, you've got to put up with the rain. And who said that? Thank you to Charlie. Happy New Year to David. Yeah, Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year, guys.
We'll be back in the new year. And David, we'll end on this one. Why not have the halcyon days back with these owners? Who knows?
You never know. I think
never know.
I think the bars moved slightly higher than back from those days, but yeah, look, you never know. It can happen.
Dave, Happy New Year to you guys. Thank you for your hard
Rich.
work.
Thank you.
Yeah, cheers, Rich.
Any messages to say goodbye to the folks listening?
Not really. Just have a happy and peaceful New Year, really. And here's the 3 points. It's not New Year's Day, is it? On Monday, 2nd. Yeah.
Yep. Mikey.
Yeah. Have a good one, everyone. And yeah, bring on the Lincoln.
Bring on the Lincoln, indeed. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone. Happy New Year from everyone here at Blue Monday. Look after yourselves. We'll see you in the new year. And we are. Yeah, well, there we go. Walton's a Plymouth boy. There he is. Agent Walton. No, we love Walton. Thank you, everyone, for joining us and sticking with us for the full 55 minutes. We will hope for positivity in the new year. Come on, you Blues, and all that jazz. Thanks, everyone. Take care, and we'll see you soon.